Hello, Gothamites, and welcome to the Gotham Knight channel. I am your host, the Gotham Knight, and today is a show that I hate doing. I hate doing these, and I know I got to do two others to reflect on memories. Um, um, I'm gonna share my memories uh, about this artist that just passed away, and a legendary artist, an amazing person. If you ever had a chance to meet him, he was a definitely a kind-hearted um, human being, and he's definitely going to be missed in the comic book world. And today we are talking about the passing of a legendary titan of an artist, Tim Sale. Tim Sale passed away yesterday at the age of 66 with the love of his life by his side. And the whole comic book world is hurting. Um, I've had the pleasure of knowing Tim for a little bit over a decade, and it is definitely hard to know this. And I'm going to share a personal experience that I had, and I know a lot of people are not talking about how he passed out of respect for Tim, and I am going to share where that started. And yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about Tim Sale. Tim Sale, if you don't know Tim, he is the legendary artist behind The Long Halloween. The Long Halloween, an amazing achievement in comic book history. It's considered a classic, and if you're a Batman fan, this book is on your shelf. And he was just a an artist that had his own style. He had his own um, sense of understanding Batman, and he's even said it in his words that he was just drawn to Batman automatically and knows how to draw it. A lot of people don't know this, but Tim was actually a bit colorblind, and he'll even tell you that when he drew, he drew black and white and not so much as color, and that's what made, I think, the my personal opinion, and I think a lot of artists that see art know that Tim's Long Halloween and the dark, moody sense of it um, came because of the way he saw, well, was not able to see true colors. So I wanna I went to cbr.com to see this nice little article that they did, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it's this is the great part about our comic book community. And there's some circles you can just like or hate, but when an amazing comic book artist like Tim passes away, the industry comes together and shares stories and tell stories. And I'm gonna share not only this, but I'm gonna share a video as well of DC talking. I mean, of DC Comics talking to Tim Sale at I believe it's San Diego Comic Con. I'm gonna share a little bit of that video. But here are some of the works: the Long Halloween, Superman for All Seasons, Batman Dark Victory. Uh, for Marvel, he did Daredevil Yellow. Amazing. This is an amazing book. I love it. Aside from Batman, I love Daredevil. And it could be because of that Batman sense. I don't know. Since I was a kid. Of course, Batman being the more dominant in my life. Definitely, Daredevil is that one holding his belt, right? That comes up second up. Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Gray, and then another amazing book, and Captain America White. Spider-Man Blue and Captain America are okay, but I believe the yellow and Hulk Gray are just above the Spider-Man and Captain America. And I'll say that even for Batman. Batman, The Long Halloween, just an amazing work of art. Christopher Nolan used it in his Batman universe, and you guys just seen that now with the Batman and Robert Pattinson, all drew from Tim Sale's and Jeff Loeb's work in The Long Halloween. But yeah, there is definitely some fitting tributes. Here's what DC Comics put. Tim Sale was an incredible artist whose take on iconic characters had real human depth, and his groundbreaking page design changed the way an entire generation thinks about comic book storytelling. Our condolences to go to Tim's family and friends. He will be deeply missed. Um, that's one thing that doesn't get pointed out a lot. Which artists tell amazing stories? And this was one of the masters, guys. Tim was a master and brilliant. Here's Marvel, and I'm sorry, guys, if it's not sounding great, because it does hurt. It hurts losing, um, person and I have not had my circle of artist friends on the show, and I'm hoping to. And this is one of those things that I wish I would have got it for you guys. I wish I would have been able to get Tim and Neil Adams and George Perez on the show to do that. And I really have to reach out to them to get them on the show now, to especially for the ones that are around, and for you guys to give their takes, and we can talk about memories and such. So this one hurts, guys. It does hurt. And Marvel doing a wonderful tribute as well. And Tim was just loved. Tim was loved. Here's Dark Horse Comics sharing their thoughts. This is the Grendel. A Grendel created by another great artist, Matt Wagner. Jim Lee was the first to post this about Tim going into the hospital. Adam Hughes, amazing artist, draws females amazingly. Many today speak of the late great Tim Sale. Some mention what a great guy he was. Others mentioned what a great artist he was and will always be. Let me add, Tim Sale was cool. How cool? Once over dinner, he dropped that he'd seen the Beatles in concert. How cool is that? Tom King, Batman writer. Tim Sale was one of the greatest storytellers in the history of comics, an era-defining Batman artist, and a kind and humble cool man. My favorite, his stunning work on the Challengers showed me what a superhero story could be. We're all still living on borrowed time. Rest in peace. Gail Simone, one other wonderful writer. We lost one of the greats. Tim Sale was one of my favorite artists. I adored him as a person. I am not ready to say goodbye yet. Thank you to the people who are able to voice what kind of a man and artist he was. Far better. This hurts my beloved friends and family, and that's fitting for his work. Joyce Chin. Good night, dear friend. Tim Sale passed away. I mean, this is so hard to read, guys. But the whole industry came out and was talking about Tim. It's wonderful to see. It's wonderful to see these I think that's it. Um, yeah, it's definitely hard. That's definitely a hard one, guys. I'm gonna play a little bit of the interview. I don't want to be copyright stricken, but I always loved this interview when it was taken with Batman's 75th anniversary. So let's give a listen here, and I might pause it in between so that way we don't get copyright stricken.
Tim, Batman's 75 years ago, right? But two, I would say like Batman Bible stories are Long Halloween and Dark Victory. What is it about those two stories you think that really resonate with the fans?
I think it's because they're long form. Each one is 13 issues, and they're a mystery the whole way through. There's a serial killer, the world's greatest detective, lousy for a year and
Yeah,
a half. So I think it's that, and I think
I do want to put you guys, if you weren't around for the the release of these books, what was amazing about them is that they were, you had to wait for them. You had to wait for them every month for these books to come out, and I think this was so memorable. It was so memorable, and I'll be very honest. What him and Tim Sale did inspire a character that I'm doing. If you guys don't know, I do have my own line of books, and I've ran them. Right now, we're working on a Kickstarter to release the stories that I originally wanted to tell. The books that I have is called Moonstreak, which I'm retelling. I created it when I was a kid. Long story short, there is a character that I'm doing that I've had in my head since I was a kid, and I just could never decide on a name for him and how he was. But I finally got him drawn out. I finally was able to really put him to paper. And the Long Halloween, the way it was released, I'm doing a an homage of this character's introduction, like the Long Halloween, and I want him to be memorable to the fans that do pick up the book, which I hope you do when I get ready to start announcing that. But uh, Tim and Jeff definitely inspired that.
there's a connection, a symbiotic thing between Jeff and me.
And tell me how you got involved in the project. Was it a phone call from Jeff? Did you hear about it first and go to him? Like, how did that all work?
Well, Jeff and I were already really pretty tight, and we'd done 3 Halloween specials. And I said I wanted to do a long form mystery. And I know that Jeff freaked out because he was writing movies and
Yeah,
TV and stuff like that before that, and he was panicked about what if somebody guesses who it is 3 months in.
that's what I loved about this story. Um, it was it was it was a true drawn out detective feel, and I think that's what you hear Matt Reeves talk about in the Batman is that he wanted to deliver a detective story. That's what Tim wanted to do. That's what Tim will tell you is that he wanted to tell a story, and Jeff Loeb, just being the amazing writer and the creator that he is this was a powerhouse of talent doing this. And at the time, it's just like, oh, here's this artist and here's this writer, and you know it's gonna be good because it's their guys. But all these years later, at that time when you're a comic book fan, hey, this is what we're getting. This is what we're getting. And as you're reading it, and not until it all comes together do you really get to see the full scope of it. But years later, as more comics come out and fewer of these stories ever get to come out, you start to appreciate these stories and how they grow and how they're admired, and they're truly classics in our world. So without getting copyright stricken, I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't want to play too much more. I might get copyright stricken. Who knows? Who cares? Um, Well, for you guys, if you get copyright stricken, your channel can get taken down. I'll just tell you. I mean, I do care. I do want to share Batman stuff with you guys, but I'm gonna leave Tim right here. Um, Tim is definitely a person that if you ever had a chance to know that he was very um, he was very he was a character unto himself, and I had the pleasure. For those that don't know, I run my own comic book convention as well, and I had the pleasure of hosting him at one of my shows in 2017. And I was so lucky because he was able to make it. We were able to have him come out, and Tim was excited. It was his first time here, and seeing all the artists. I mean, we had Joe Montero, we had oh man, Greg Capullo. I had every one of my friends here. It was an amazing show. You name it, everybody was here. Uh, Tim came. We were at the show, and then Tim, by one of the handlers, came in and got me and told me, he says, I gotta go to the hospital. And I was like, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'll tell you later. So we had to rush Tim to the hospital. We didn't tell anybody else. We didn't tell anybody that Tim was being taken into the hospital. And he felt so bad that he came and he didn't have to go to the hospital. And when people were asking where he was at, we just said that, his back was hurting. That's all we did. And out of respect for Tim, I will always still say his back was hurting. That's the way I will tell it. Because my friend told me to tell everybody that his back was hurting. So that's what I'm going to tell you. His back was hurting that day. I told him, I said, Tim, maybe we should, get you on a plane and try to get you back home to your loved ones, and that way you could be home resting. And Tim said no. He said that he was going to come back to the show. He said that fans came out to see him, and he's going to try to get there. Tim came back. Tim came back for his fans to sign books, to talk. You guys never even knew that he was hurting. That's who Tim was. He was in pain and he sat at that table and he talked to you guys. I love you, Tim. Thanks for being cool, being one of those guys that I looked up to. I'll never forget your friendship. I'll never forget you coming and making time for me and making for the times for the people that attended, the fans that attended the show while you were hurting. Thank you, Tim. You will be missed, buddy. You will be missed. I'm just sad that you never got to hold Jedi or hold him and I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. To all of Tim's family and friends, we are hurting right now, but you know what Tim would want. Celebrate himself. if he didn't even know him, just share a picture, post it. He would have liked. He would have liked seeing his art out there, and definitely, definitely missed. Rest easy, buddy. Take care.